You're watching Netrush Report, where we go beyond the baseline to uncover the raw, emotional stories that shape the world of tennis. If you live and breathe the game, hit that subscribe button and join us for more behind-the-scenes drama, heartache, and triumphs. The story begins months ago, long before the Cincinnati Open became the stage for Elena Rybakina and Stefano Vukov's highly anticipated return together. Back in January, the WTA quietly but decisively handed down a suspension to Vukov. The official wording was vague, a potential breach of the WTA Code of Conduct tied to safeguarding rules designed to protect players and personnel. No specific details were made public, a decision that left fans both curious and concerned. For months, Vukov was barred from holding credentials that would allow him into player areas and practice courts. He was off the circuit, unable to work at WTA events. While the silence from the WTA left room for speculation, the fact that safeguarding was involved only fueled the fire. What happened? Who was at risk? Why wasn't more being said? Then came June. Stefano Vukov appealed the suspension. Behind closed doors, meetings were held, evidence was presented, and decisions were weighed. And just last Friday, the WTA announced that the suspension had been lifted. No elaborate explanation, no dramatic press conference, just a formal statement saying he could once again receive credentials to player areas and practice courts at WTA events. This is where the controversy truly ignited. Fans took to social media immediately, and the reactions were sharp, emotional, and deeply divided. One fan wrote bluntly, "This is incredibly irresponsible and sets a dangerous precedent." Another posted, "If the safeguarding rules mean anything, this shouldn't be happening." Yet, there were also those who supported the decision, framing it as due process. "If the WTA reviewed it and lifted the ban, then that's the end of it," one fan commented. And then, there's Elena Rybakina herself. This is not a player who speaks lightly about her career or the people in her corner. When asked about Vukov, she was unequivocal. "I have never made any complaints. He never mistreated me." Her words cut through the speculation, framing the entire narrative from her perspective. She has always maintained her trust in him. Even after their professional split in August 2024, ahead of the US Open, that split had its own backstory. Rybakina's form had been uneven. The tour's relentless travel schedule and the pressure to perform were weighing on her. The announcement that she and Vukov were parting ways felt like a professional reset, a chance to shake things up ahead of the final stretch of the season. But just months later, ahead of the Australian Open, the surprise news dropped. The pair were reuniting. Some saw it as a bold move. Others saw it as a risk. But for Rybakina, the decision was personal. She made it clear that she valued his tactical approach, his courtside energy, and his belief in her potential. And despite the WTA's prior disciplinary action, she stood by him. Fast forward to now, and the Cincinnati Open has become the symbolic stage for this reunion. Cameras will be fixed not only on Rybakina's serve and footwork, but on Vukov's every expression, every courtside instruction, every interaction. There's an unspoken reality that, whether fair or not, he will be under intense scrutiny from fans, from media, and perhaps from the WTA itself. The tension surrounding this return is amplified by the shadow of safeguarding rules in tennis. The WTA, like many sports bodies, has worked in recent years to improve protections for players. The system is designed to prevent abuse, harassment, and misconduct. That's why lifting Vukov's suspension without a transparent explanation feels, to many, like a step backward. If these rules exist to protect, shouldn't the public, especially the players, know why an exception was made? In press conferences, Rybakina has been consistent in her message. She acknowledges the WTA's decision, but distances herself from any claims that she was the victim in question. "I understand the concern, but I can only speak for myself," she said, "and I have always felt safe and respected." From a purely tennis perspective, the reunion could be powerful. Vukov knows Rybakina's game better than almost anyone. He's been there during her rise to the 2022 Wimbledon title, helping refine her aggressive baseline play and calm her nerves in high-pressure moments. When they work well together, she becomes one of the most dangerous players on tour. But this story is no longer just about forehands and backhands. It's about trust, reputation, and the credibility of the WTA's safeguarding policies. It's about whether fans believe the governing body acted with integrity or compromised its own standards for the sake of convenience, politics, or pressure. As the Cincinnati Open approaches, two storylines will run parallel. One will be about Rybakina's performance, her serve speeds, her stamina, her shot selection. The other will be about the man in her player's box, and whether the WTA's decision to reinstate him will prove to be justified or hauntingly premature. For now, the tennis world waits and watches. This is more than just a coaching reunion. It's a test for Rybakina, for Vukov, and for the WTA's safeguarding credibility. As the rallies play out and the matches unfold, one question will hang in the air. Did the WTA get this right? Or will this decision come back to haunt them? You've been watching Netrush Report, where the stories go deeper than the scoreline. If you believe in getting the truth behind the headlines, subscribe now and stay with us for more on this developing story.